After 66 years of handing money to a toll collector or maybe using Easy Pass the past several, the way we pay for our trips down the thruway now is going to be a lot different. Cashless tolling goes into effect this weekend. So joining me now, many of you know him as former Syracuse Mayor Matt Driscoll. You'll always be ours, Matt, but he's currently the State Thruway Authority Executive Director. Matt, good to talk with you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff. Good to be with you.
So this switch happens overnight Friday into the early morning hours of Saturday. How's it happen? You actually flip a switch and it all goes live across the state? How's it happen?
Well, not exactly, but, we'll have people posted across all 70 locations or 70 gantries across 58 locations across New York State. It'll all happen, transition out of the Nerve Center at the headquarters in Albany. People really won't see anything. But that transition will take place, and it'll happen probably sometime after midnight, probably 1, 2, or 3 in the morning. There'll be signage as well that people will see that will be new, alerting them to the change.
So it seems pretty simple, but what do drivers really need to know? I guess if you have an Easy Pass, you just get on and get off and you drive. But what if I don't have an Easy Pass? What should drivers know about cashless tolling?
Well, the first thing they really should know is they should get an Easy Pass. It really is the most efficient and effective way to travel. It's obviously easy, and you don't have to worry about a bill being sent in the mail. But if you go through a gantry and you do not have an Easy Pass, we will take a photograph of your license plate, both front and rear, and we will send you a bill in the mail. We will send the bill to the registered address at the Department of Motor Vehicles, and we'll send the bill there.
Is there any concern, Matt, about people without that Easy Pass that would get that bill in the mail, just ignoring them and not paying you for it? Or I guess, does that happen already with people on the thruway, or?
Yeah, sure, that's happened. People have disregarded the bill, or sometimes they've not, recognized it as a bill. We've actually changed the envelope, the billing system, so that people understand it is a bill and it is real. And if they don't pay, of course, then there's penalties that go with that. But those penalties don't come into place for nearly 100 days. So we always try to work with people and urge them to pay their bills on time.
Don't go too deep into this as far as how the technology works, but does it read plates? Does it count cars? Or how does it kind of know who's going where, when, why, and how?
So, yeah, it does all of that. It's a very sophisticated system. There's cameras and lasers up on the gantries. Those are the big steel apparatus that you see that goes across the highway or the ramps. It'll measure the height of a vehicle. So if it's a truck, we know the height and we know the length. There's a component called a treadle. It's actually based in concrete below that gantry. Oh. That counts the axles of the vehicle as well. So there's a lot that goes into the system. It's very sophisticated, as I say. It not only takes the height, the length, the width, but also counts the axles as well.
Would peeling plates be a problem, or are there so many other things that it can also track as well that's not a big issue to it?
So these cameras now really are some of the most modern that exist today. The resolution is fantastic. We've tested all plates, including those that have peeled. And by the way, I'd urge anybody that's viewing this, if they have a peeling plate by law, they're supposed to change that. They can do that for free at the Department of Motor Vehicles. But even with a plate that may be peeling or peeled, these cameras, the resolution is such that we have no problem identifying the numbers.
What would you say is the advantage? Why is the state going to this, both for the drivers and the state?
Well, it's just more seamless. It's safer because there's less stopping. We've seen incidents at the toll plazas. It's better for the environment, where you'll see in many cases some of the busier sections of the system. There's a lot of idling that goes on, so there's an environmental benefit as well, and again, a reduction in crashes or incidents that we've seen. And frankly, it's just more efficient for the traveler. People are going to get to where they need to be faster and more seamless.
What happens to the toll takers that we won't be using anymore?
Right. So we have about 900 part-time toll takers and 200 full-time. Out of the 200 full-time, about a third of those people were eligible to retire, and they're doing so. Since this was announced in 2018, we made a real strong effort to work with our impacted employees, creating training opportunities, working with them to, gather additional educational opportunities, finding job placement for them in other entities. and furthering their educational career as well. So I want to say the men and women who have manned these toll booths for 66 years really have been the backbone of the Thruway. And when you think about the Thruway, I think you tend to think about the people who you've seen in those booths over the great many years, and we owe them a debt of gratitude for the service.
We sure do. Cashless tolling takes effect early Saturday morning, let's say, after midnight Friday into early Saturday morning. State Thruway Authority Executive Director Matt Driscoll, thanks so much for joining us and breaking that down, making it a little clearer for us. Really appreciate having you.
Good to be with you, Jeff. Thank you.